Okay, so now that we have CinemaCon out of the way, and we'll talk about that, next year when it comes around, we had another movie. This is the first one of 2023 to do it, and it did it in 4 weeks. And I'm talking about Super Mario. This movie is an absolute juggernaut. Um, so briefly, before we go on, yeah, that Flash trailer was amazing, Metal. I totally agree with you. I'm really, really looking forward to that movie. So it will be interesting. There's a lot of questions James Gunn's going to have to, take care of. But right now he's got Guardians. He's on the press tour for that. That'll be interesting. He just did the LA world premiere the other day. So I'm really interested in seeing that. But getting back to this. So this is an absolute juggernaut. This movie just keeps printing money. That being said, um, I just can't believe how much money this has made. So this comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter, and it says Super Mario movie makes $1 billion globally. Illumination and Universal's The Super Mario movie is checking off another notable milestone. The Nintendo video game adaptation will cross $1 billion at the box office worldwide sometime on Sunday. In its 26th day in release, it becomes only the 10th animated film to achieve that feat, and the first movie to do it since the pre-pandemic times. In North America, Super Mario's projected weekend is $40 million from 4,200 theaters, for a global tally of nearly $500 million through Sunday. It made 490. Its projected weekend overseas haul is $68.3 million for a foreign cumulative of $532.5 million. The movie has shattered any number of records, including the ranking of the highest grossing animated film in Universal history at the domestic box office after beating Minions, at $369 million, and the third highest of any Universal movie behind Jurassic World and E.T. the Extraterrestrial, not adjusted for inflation. Globally, it now ranks as Universal's seventh biggest film of all time after beating Jurassic World, Dominion, and Despicable Me, and is the fourth biggest among any Hollywood film since 2019. And that, by the way, that was the year that Endgame came out. Thanks to its multi-generational appeal, Super Mario continues to play more like an all-audience blockbuster than animated tentpole. Elsewhere, at the domestic box office, the Evil Dead Rise franchise impressed with its sophomore outing of $12.2 million from 3,400 locations for a domestic tally of $44.4 million. Lionsgate's new offering, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, opened in third place with an estimated $6.8 million from 3,334 cinemas. The critically acclaimed film earned an A cinema score. John Wick, another Lionsgate film, is expected to come in at number 4 with roughly $5 million from 2,481 sites, enough to clear a franchise best $175 million domestically. Globally, the film celebrated passing 400 million, a feat no other film in the series has accomplished. In a fun twist, the re-release of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, will round out the top 5 with an estimated $4.7 million from only 500 theaters. And that really goes to show you the power of Star Wars. By the way, guys, I'll put the card in there. I just did, go back and watch it. I just did a Star Wars Return of the Jedi retrospective yesterday or earlier this weekend. So go check that out. Sony and affirms big George Foreman, the miraculous story of the once and future heavyweight champion of the world, is proving to be a disappointment. The movie opened outside of the top 10 with a projected $3 million from 3,500 theaters. Okay, let's talk about it. This movie's just money. Money, 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 money. I'm so glad to see the Evil Dead Rise do really well. But Super Mario is just making bank. And it's just amazing to see that it's doing this well. I'm so happy for Universal and Illumination. it's one of those things where you really, we always judge films monetarily. I'm guilty of this all the time. Okay, I always come on here and talk about how much this movie's going to make, how much that movie's going to make, whatever. And I think that when we see a movie that has, quote, legs, so, and I mean it has legs, is so it's crazy good. Yeah, I think so. After the show, after I get all these videos up for you guys, I think, and I'm going to have an early day, I think I want to go see Mario because, I want to see what and it's only 90 minutes. So, but I think that's something else that actually bring up a good point, Metal, is that it is only 90 minutes. And that's, excuse me, that's huge. There are a lot of things here that really are attractors for this film. Number one, no, I hadn't even considered that. If enough people get interested in it, I might consider it. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know when that's coming out. So I'd have to look into that. Depends on what the schedule looks like because I got a lot of stuff. We got Guardians coming up and everything else. So possibly. But let's talk about this for a minute because number one, this is an IP everybody knows, right? I mean, I've been playing video games since I was 13. I remember the Nintendo Entertainment System and how back in 1985 and when this came to America and everything else. That being said, it's a fantastic IP, and I'm so glad it's done well. That being said, it is only 90 minutes, right? It's only 93, 94 minutes. And I think the fact is, when you have a movie that is short, okay, and it doesn't drag on, and it's bright, and it's colorful, and it looks good, people want to go back and see it over and over and over and over again. And it's like Avatar, and it's like, if it's a good movie like a Top Gun Maverick, then you're going to go back and see that. But this is one of those, it's just, and this is it's going to make as much money as it can throughout this week. But it knows on Thursday and I think it's still going to do well on Thursday and Friday in this weekend. I mean, Guardians is going to win the weekend, but I still think it's going to do well. So it's fascinating to see. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what it does. If it made $40 million, even if it makes half of that amount, even if it makes $20 million, that's still damn good for being out for 5 weeks. It's an amazing, amazing thing. Guardians is going to clean up, though. I feel like if they made a second movie, I think it would too. And I think it would be a different story. And I don't know how much longer it would be because this seemed to be like it was the perfect length. So this was more of a tester type of thing. And it's interesting because when you take a look at it, the fact is that you have a movie like Air, okay, that made and has made $60 million. It's made 2/3 of its budget back. So that's interesting in itself, too. Evil Dead Rise making quite a bit of money. I'm so happy that these movies are thriving, and it only gonna get bigger and better for the rest of the time. So strap in because we're in for a great, great summer coming up. Anyways, guys, what do you think about Mario hitting $1 billion? How many times have you seen Mario? Do you play any of the Mario games? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments and I'll get back to everybody.